Machine.
Hi there, it's Claire Lim here, and this is Hot Pod Time Machine. This is the podcast where we explore a decision from our past which changed the trajectory of our future. And I'm very happy to welcome on this episode, it's John Robertson, aka Robbotron. Hi.
Hey! All right, great to be with you. That was almost entirely worth it. I hope the visual component of this is here, lest some of your listeners think I've just been murdered with a very low velocity rifle.
For those watching on YouTube, you will have seen that incredible entrance. For those listening along on Spotify, it was wonderful. There was streamers and all sorts.
Yeah, it was really good. I loved the way that at no point it actually ended up on camera, but it's really gotten on the light over here. Tremendous.
No, it's just also hanging off the ring light. Lovely.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. Well, who doesn't like a bit of paper hanging off the ring? For the more sensitive listeners, I want you to know that I angled the party popper away from the microphone so as not to affect Claire or yours delicate hearing. So there we are.
Yeah, and yet it still somehow arrived on the ring. Interesting. I can tell how this podcast episode's gonna go. It's always
down the shitter. Yes.
It's always you, John. It's always when it's you. We end up.
That is so unfair. If it wasn't for the fact that I met a fan the other day who went, "Oh yeah, I listened to your comedian podcast. I was on Stuart Goldsmith's one," and I went, "Oh yeah, I was really depressed when he did that one. When I did that one," and he just went, "Oh, it's definitely the most graphic episode." Yeah.
Is that where you go when you're depressed? Do you go to the graphic place?
I don't think so. I think I was like, I'm just really tired. And so I tried listening to it after he'd said it because I was going, where's the graphic thing? I was like, yeah, I'm talking about dirty sex. I'm talking about dirty sex all the time. It's very interesting. You know, everyone has a response to hearing about dirty sex. They enjoy that or they go, oh, gross. Either way, something's happening. But no, my favorite part is that this clearly really tired, depressed version of me. Stuart Goldsmith's a great comedian. He's going, oh, so John, so explain your act. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm really high energy and I'm really about engaging with the audience. And it's just so bad.
And then maybe occasionally you just go, anal. I mean, yes.
Yeah, I've done that. Oh, that's definitely happened. Yeah, the popping of a party popper. I used to do that as a spot because you just go, and now an impression, bang, the sound of the death of a president, and then you move on. It was good. It was a very good joke when Trump was in. People really liked it. Fun to do.
You know what? I was just thinking, when I am depressed and I still have to stream and I still have to work and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because we all have to get up and do stuff still, you know. But like I go to my lizard brain and I just let whatever comes out. So it could be sex, it could be poo jokes. I don't know. It could be anything, but I just let it like stream out.
I think you do yourself a disservice because you've got more than a lizard brain. Lizards, I don't think, know how to joke. They just know how to fuck and shit and lie on rocks.
Case in point.
You're pretty good. Yeah, but I mean, I've seen you. You've got punchlines, for God's sake. You've got form. Your lizard's never sitting there going, oh, does this go along with the rule of three?
Oh, God.
What's a callback? You know, like Stuart Lizard, the Stuart Lee version of the lizard. Why not? Stuart Lizard.
Hi, my name's Claire Lizard. This is John Lizard. This is Hot Lizard Time Machine. That's a good lizard.
Yeah.
It's quite frightening, actually. That's the most frightening thing you've ever done. That is actually freaking me out.
Really? The lizard? Yeah, the lizard coming at you? That's the...
No,
is it the frills that upset you and the tongue? Because
it's the eyes and the tongue at the same time.
What, you've never seen someone use their eyes and their tongue at the same time? I regret to inform you that I've had meals with other people.
It's that.
Yeah, it's the combination. Well, yeah, I could see it on the lag on the video. And yeah, no, you're right. That is disconcerting.
And you know I'm going to use that as the thumbnail for YouTube.
Oh, that's fine. There's nothing. Oh, you know, if you wanted to be demonetized on site, yeah, get into it.
Let's go.
Really enjoying the corporate censorship over there on YouTube. You know, that kind of, I mean, it happens, you know, it happens on the television all the time, but it's that sort of, we see that you've sworn, so that's not advertiser friendly. You're like, oh, okay. Whereas that racist over there, well, he doesn't swear, so it's fine. Like, oh, that's appalling. You know.
Welcome to corporate social media 2023, where nothing makes sense.
Yay!
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
that,
life. Hashtag ad.
yeah, the idea that somehow using foul language is inherently morally bad, but calling for the eradication of other people somehow is just a discussion that we need to have. Is one of the most pathetic sort of money grubbing milk toast capitalist prick bastard things I've ever fucking heard.
It's
Nevertheless,
lazy for those that get so it's the kind of the equivalent of when there were shootings or whenever there's a shooting in America, or there was one in particular I'm thinking about, and then they were like, video games are bad, and it's like, well,
Columbine,
yes.
and then every other one subsequently.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly, every single one. And it's like, no, gun laws. Your gun
Yep.
laws are buggered. You need to
Yeah.
fix those. And it's
Gun laws, the online pathway to young men being radicalized.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, it's what every time I see one of these things, it's sort of like, look, buddy, you're clearly a sad boy,
Yeah.
right? Running off to a forum full of other sad boys who are going to G you on until you do something fucking horrible. And it's just sort of like, just have the decency to wank, write some shit poetry, and get out of your fucking teens and early 20s, and you'll be fine. It's not actually that difficult,
Do
you know?
you know what? I actually suggested. I don't know what we were talking about. I was on a Rotten Tomatoes podcast, very posh, and I
Ooh.
said, blah 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 blah, wank into a sock, and the host, who's a friend of mine, who's very polite and very LA, was like, oh yes, okay, and I was like, yeah, they're not gonna ask me back.
Yeah, but what did the user reviews say? I mean, that's the most important thing on a Rotten Tomatoes thing. Don't worry about this critic. It's fine.
What would you give me? What percentage would you give me if you heard a Scottish girl, talk about wanking into a sock on a Rotten Tomatoes podcast?
Well, to be fair, I mean, I'm familiar with Scottish slang. This is fine. It would be one of those things of going, oh, the charming vernacular's out again. Look at it go. You people don't understand. Oh, you give that 10 out of 10, or 5 crusty drawers out of 7 or something.
5 crusty drawers out of 7.
Yeah, 5 snappable gussets out of 12 or something.
Oh my god! But then you like
wrong with saying. I mean,
sorry,
but there's nothing wrong with saying wank into a sock. If you'd
No.
done that sort of crap portmanteau thing, that kind of, oh, you flaming wank sock or something, I would have gone, oh yeah, okay. I see we're all just douche nozzle or some shit. Like, that always, I'm like, the whimsy's reeking off you. I really hate hearing pre-recorded comedy. It really shits me, especially when it's coming out of someone actually talking in front of me.
But you know what? Like, I feel like, and this is nothing against my lovely American friends, of which I have many, and they're so great. But there's a big cultural difference there, because I feel like Australian folks and British folks, we've got a real affinity. It's a real affinity in the way that we speak, the language, our mindset and mentality. And then you go to somewhere like LA, which is very, very, I think very foreign mentality wise, and it's so strange. You gotta be really wholesome, really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
strange. That kind of, we believe in God. But I like American positivity.
I
like
do, me too.
And like American fans that I've engaged with tend to be super interested and fun and very energetic with that. But yeah, one thing I have seen, which always kind of gets me, is like I'll see American comedians hanging shit on other American comedians, and I can't even process that what I've heard was meant to be an insult or in some way offensive.
Yeah.
And they're sort of like, oh, that guy's a bitch. Like, you're comedians, you're all bitches. I've seen you. Spend time with them. Get one comedian alone, any of them, and go, oh, what do you think about this person? And if you get them, when they're not doing public relations stuff, all you'll hear is whinging for the next 5 days.
Oh yeah.
And that doesn't matter. And then when it's like, oh, here's some, God, I'm an alpha. No, again, you work in comedy. You don't have a real job. I'm just telling you, it's physically untaxing. Quite mentally untaxing. It only really matters emotionally as much as you want to let it. You work 20 minutes a night, sir. Like if that, chances are you actually don't. So
some of my favorite times, actually, because I'm not a comedian, but I work in this industry, and my friends are comedians, have been when I've sat in green rooms or sat with dinners with people and they all start just laying into whoever else. And I love it. I just sit because I'm safe. I'm a safe person. You know, I'm not really involved, but I know everyone they're talking about. I'm like,
Oh, that's interesting that they would do that in front of you. I would not do that. Yeah, that in no way would I do that. You don't do that when, like, if you are doing that, I like to remove people's names because, like, because I mean it gets back, and one of the most tiresome things you'll ever see, and I've been very fucking lucky to avoid this in my career, is watch what, like, if you've got like a comedian where the career's not really going anywhere, or where it maybe went somewhere and then has stopped, right? And that person has social media and they have a beef with someone else, it just leaks everywhere. And it's so grim and shit. And there are forums everywhere on Facebook. You could just look and see this stuff. And it's always the most provincial, local bullshit. Like I once saw, that was it. There was a guy came up, like a friend of mine told me this, an older comic came up to him and went, "You mentioned horses in your set. I'm the horse guy. Stop it." Right?
Okay.
Yeah, and and the thing is, the guy isn't the horse guy. He's not known for anything. He's got a bit about chess, right, that involved him having the chess piece of the horse, and so he's just got to like, "Oh, you can't be. I've brought this all the way from home. I've really fucked up the potential for that game." You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if you want to sum up how how masterfully silly comedy is and the emotional level you should actually carry doing it on, right? It's like this. There's a guy in Australia called Tahir. He's a bloody top man. Really nice guy. Lovely guy, great pro. I once came back bitching about an event I was doing, and he kind of gave me the "you go back there and you fucking tell him, mate." He was really good. But Tahir used to play a character on a sitcom called Fat Pizza, right? Where he was a Turkish bloke who I never saw the show, but I think I don't know. I think he worked in the pizza shop. Maybe he made kebabs.
Sure.
If you do a gig with Tahir will be walking with you to the club, and then he go, "Oh, hang on, guys, hang on," and he'll just go away for a bit. And when he comes back, he's got a kebab, and he needs that kebab because when he walks on stage, he just goes, "Oh my God," which is his catchphrase. And he's got the kebab. The crowd applauds for fucking 2.5 minutes. He can then fill the other 18 with whatever he feels like. And it's great. But it's like, this is the job is shit. No, I've just got to go buy the kebab. Oh, the one for eating? No, for stage. My stage kebab. My very important stage kebab.
Do you know what, though, John? I was speaking to a friend who's a comedian not so long ago, and they were really,
they were a comedian not so long ago. I hope they've been taken out due to their myriad of crimes. Yep.
They were talking about this other comedian called, I think they're called Don Robertson. They changed the names, I'm sure.
Oh, Don Robertson, you say?
Yeah, Don Robertson.
I know that bloke.
Seemingly he's a massive asshole. Does a really good
I've
impression.
heard that gaping. Yeah, gaping and wide, I understand. Cavernous.
Yes, cavernous. Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. Some people say if you stare into the void, it stares back. But if you stare into that guy, just the waft of shit comes at you, and then some paper clinging to the outside of the shiny ring. It's well known.
I would avoid Don Robertson. Just avoid him.
Yeah. It speaks to how tired I actually am that I was totally taken in by that. And then when you said Don Robertson, I was like, that's clearly me, but it might mean Dom Jolie. There is a chance.
No, it's Don Robertson. Very well known.
Don Robertson.
Yeah.
Don Robertson. Very well known.
Gaping asshole.
Is he?
Stinks of shit.
Is he?
Yeah.
Stinks of shit. Gaping asshole stinks of shit.
Yeah.
That just sounds like venues I've played in. I might have actually done some sets inside this guy.
Oh.
Who knows?
Wow. Okay. All right. I feel like a lot of people have done sets inside this guy, but I don't know. That's
a lucky boy.
That's the word on the street.
He sounds positively delightful. The word on the street sounds like it's his name. That's a good thing. Possibly with the amount he charges. He sounds like he's doing very well.
John, we haven't even got the point of this podcast, and 15 minutes have passed. It's incredible.
Yeah, that'll happen.
I knew
it's a podcast. That must be very frustrating to the listener. Obviously, we are here. Look, can I just say, Robert Evans, it's a pleasure to be here on Behind the Bastards. Thank you for inviting me. And I can't wait to hear what dictator we're going to be just talking about for the next 4 episodes.
Tell me, John, because what's going to happen is you're going to tell me your answer to this. Then we're going to go on another tangent, which I'm happy to do. So let's do it.
Is that the dictator's name? Another Tangent? I believe one of the lesser Khans, Another Tangent, as I recall. Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, we're on track.
Right. You're a massive Khan. All right, let's do it.
Oh, thanks. I mean,
no worries.
Okay, John.
Yeah, I've heard terrible things about this streamer called P Stare.
Oh, really?
It's amazing. Yeah. It's this Scottish woman who just watches people piss.
Well,
so desperate is she to watch gold happen.
No kink shaming on this
no
podcast.
Kink shaming.
Hey, no.
Really none?
No, really none. Well, I can
What
think...
if the kink is being shamed?
No, wait, is that kink shaming squared? How does that work? Hold on.
Oh, I don't think you're a square if you do that. You're very cool. You're still doing it. You're shaming them.
Is that kinkception?
Yeah. No, I think kinkception leads to a pretty broad internal injury. It's in me. It's in me. You're in me. Oh, God. This hideous self-sucking Ouroboros.
Who's in who and where's the spindle? Oh, shit.
The spindle?
Whatever that little spinny thing is.
Whatever the little spinny thing is.
At the end of Inception where he spins it. And then he just...
I've never seen Inception.
Oh, okay, now you're going to have to watch Inception.
No, I don't. I don't have time for this. I'm too busy doing the kink bit.
Okay, so at the end of Inception, he spins a spinny thing.
Right.
It's a little spinner. And that's to tell if you're awake or not, I think. That's basically...
That he's got a fidget spinner.
That's how you know. Yeah, like, and if it stops spinning or it spins, it's either you're awake or not awake. I know. It's a terrible film. No offense to Christopher Nolan stans out there. I am not a fan, so...
Oh, well, I mean, fuck him. I mean, like, Christopher Nolan is a guy who directs films that are like, oh, it's got a trick, eh? Oh, no, come on, it's backwards, though. Come on, I'm very smart.
Really, like, they're like elongated Audi adverts. That is what they look like to me. Yeah. They're like really nice car adverts where everyone's wearing a suit and everyone talks like in this kind of like, so I'm going to tell you what the plot is. Let's just, explain the whole exposition here and what's going on. And it's like, and that's not interesting or fun. They're like clever films for stupid people. No offense. Like, no.
But they are though. They are clever films for stupid people. I remember seeing Memento. And it was the first time that I saw a movie that hinged on there being a reveal, that had been done in a sort of independent kind of grungy way.
Sure.
And I went, oh, this was a really soulless technical exercise. And then the more money he's been given, the less charming it is. Those Dark Knight movies, like I've never enjoyed, except for Sin City, I've never really liked Robert Rodriguez. But I got to hand it to Robert Rodriguez. Those films would have been done in an hour and a half, and that would have been the shooting, the editing, and the entire movie.
Yeah.
Christ almighty, tell you what, Batman Forever wasn't the name they should have given that Joel Schumacher movie. Should have been for the third one. Oh. Dark Knight Rises, Batman fucking takes forever. My God.
It's so...
We're going to put all of the police under the ground because we can't kill them because it's a PG film. No, we're making a point about... Look, Batman's underground, and so are they. It's thematically relevant. Oh,
God, I know. Oh, my God. Oh, God. And also, every film, I just looked at the running time for the new John Wick 4 film. I like John Wick, but the running is almost 3 hours long. How? I mean, I kind of don't mind, but I'm like, what happened to a good old 90-minute banger?
Well, that's what those films were. That was the good bit. Yeah. I mean, my wife and I, we watched all 3 of the John Wick movies, in 2 evenings, and it was some of the best times we've ever had. Short, punchy, his dog. Look, who's going to be that character? Oh, and I will apologize. I realize I've actually cut you off about 3 times during this. It's a combination of, it's just lag.
That's okay.
And rudeness. So my apologies.
That's okay. You sounds very familiar to this story I heard about this guy Don. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
No worries. Oh well, it's okay.
It's like no,
I believe
it will be okay. Don't worry.
Yeah, Peace Dare Fear is their full name. I believe they
Wow, that's a badass name though. Peace Dare Fear.
Peace Dare Fear, yeah, it's pretty good. It's what they produce in other people when they invite them unblinkingly to come on their fucking podcast, I believe.
Even more badass. I like them.
The Peace Dare Fear. Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, why not?
I'm gonna have to try and hone this piece there and induce the fear at the same time. Oh my god! So I feel like it's coming at any moment. I'm like, oh god, like this.
Really?
Yeah, it's.
I don't think I don't think at any moment. It usually takes about 15 minutes to recharge.
Oh, really? That's quite good. Quite good
I
enough.
know.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm pleased with myself.
Had worse.
Yep.
We've all had worse.
Yeah. No. Well, we all have the kind of one and done kind of thing. We've all seen that.
Yeah, we've seen that quite a lot.
Yeah, we've let the air out of the balloon, and weirdly we can't put more in.
Yeah, I've always wondered about. I'm like, really, there's no air, there's no oxygen around you right now.
Yeah,
there's no oxygen to go back in the balloon. Okay.
I have been talking. That does do that to oxygen. I did once, and this why not? I mean, this
Go on.
Here's a choice I've made, but this isn't a significant one, but it was funny. I was once I mean, I've had very good sex in my time, and I've had, very bad sex in my time, and I've been responsible, for my part of both of those things. But there was a time when it was just a nice hookup, and as we were doing stuff, I was sort of like, we're really at sort of two different places here, because I was being invited, to get up here and mount me. And I was sort of, maybe not ready, shall we say. And I don't mean not ready in a spiritual sense
No.
No. It's like, no, the boy was not full fit to anger, and, I'm just trying to style it out. Right. So I've just kind of like slid down and really giving it the old lizard tongue, if you feel what I'm saying. The old frilled lizard, going at it. And, they're sort of like, no, get up here, get up. And I manfully I go, all right, well, let's go. Right. Up I get, and I go, and pretty swiftly I realize that it's not going to happen. Right. And it's been my experience that, like, I've been with people who have taken that personally, where they're like, oh, well, what, and then they're upset. You don't want them to be upset, and and I don't want to, kind of feel like something's wrong with me. So what I did was I was like, kind of grunting, doing my stuff, and I just hooked my leg around the underside of the bed, and I just pulled, and I just fucking threw myself off the bed, and just went, and they went. And they went, oh, are you okay? And I went, yeah. And they went, oh, get back up. And I just went, no. That was just, no.
No.
That was a thing. Like, I was like, oh yeah, very good. What a hero.
Wow.
Sex going. Looks like the sex is a bit mediocre today. Fake an injury. There we go.
I mean, you really did. It sounded like that you really tried your best to style it out as much as you could. And it just weren't maybe getting the hint that you were styling it out, So,
yeah, well, it was just one of those things where you're like, okay, well, we tried. And I remember they were a really nice person, and I ran into them later. And I was like, oh, I'll give you a call. And they went, yeah. In a kind of like, like no pressure either way. Like, it's like, well, okay, we're all in agreement that an afternoon occurred.
Yes. Yeah, and that was in an afternoon as well. Great. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, terrific. Yeah. What a great, like, just. Oh yeah, one of those things where you're like, okay, well, apparently, look, we're going in half cocked. Okay, I'm terribly sorry to tell you.
That's it. But you know what? I don't know. Like, I'm quite direct, so especially in my old age, I just prefer to go, no, yes, that's not happening. That's happening. Like, because I just think it's better for all parts. I would rather somebody go, you know what? It's not this. This is not doing the thing. This is doing the thing, and then we're all happy. It's just way better than faking an injury, quite frankly, which is
well, I mean,
melodramatic
if you're
at most.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you're in a position where it is a thing where you guys, can communicate, right? in order to build the fun thing that you're
And
doing,
that's fine.
right? Yeah, and and it's a light thing. But this was my sort of last gasp, because I was like, well, no, just
No.
that's it. And well, yeah, I was just sort of like, let's just I tried to preserve everybody's feelings, and yeah.
Oh God. But you know what? Now, could that story be the decision from your past that changed your future? Segue.
No, no, absolutely not.
So what is it
No,
then?
but
So what is
no,
it?
good on you though. That's a
Okay.
that was no, that was a segue worthy of my therapist. That was amazing. Yes,
Thanks.
but could that in some way relate to your father? Like maybe now. No, the decision that changed the future.
Yes.
Because I thought about this, the decision that I made that made the most difference to my future, because off the back of it, really everything came, was when I and I've said this on a bunch of other podcasts, unfortunately, but it was when I went on Australian Idol um in Australia, and what I used to refer to as faked a seizure. I just did some really deliberately physically painful breakdancing while screaming bird bird bird, the bird is the word, while wrapped in the Australian flag, and that led to a lot of TV coverage. And the woman who became my wife was in a hospital bed, and she saw me on the television and went, "Oh, I'd like to meet him."
Oh.
And then, and then she came to a party that I was at, and met me. And then we, at this point, our versions of the story differ. In her story, I'm very cute, and I'm sort of like, oh, if I could maybe, perchance, come home with you. And in my version of the story, I go, those old people are going to fuck in that hot tub. Can I come home with you? So somewhere between these two things, because I have the very vivid memory of watching a fairly unpleasant sight lower itself onto a friend of mine, and watch some water disperse. And I was like, oh shit, that's about to get a little bit choppy and over there. I'd like to leave. Yeah, and then we went back to her place, and really haven't ever been apart.
Oh.
Like since then. Like, I mean, we now operate in different countries because we like our work, but we're married and we're very happy. And it was one of those things where the pandemic came along, and she got stuck in New Zealand and built a career. It's like, oh well, fucking keep doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if I hadn't gone and decided to behave like just such an asshole on Australian Idol, continuing my ongoing move of in moments that seem to panic me slightly, just throwing myself really hard on my back and screaming. There you go. There's your, yeah, you happy? There's your callback. You got it.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
no worries, no worries. I just engaged my lizard brain. Did one of those fabulous reptile jokes. Anyway, after my reptile dysfunction earlier. Anyway, the yeah, off the back of that, suddenly there was a bit of an audience that was interested in me. There was a woman who loves what I do and has always supported me. And so when times were lean and she had a job, she looked after me. And then when I eventually, we came over here, which we did for my career, and when things started working, yeah, it was great. And I was able to support when she wanted to change what she was doing. And
That's
yeah,
amazing.
so yeah, and it just all comes off the back of that. So if any of you, I don't know, if any of you are single and deeply lonely, and you haven't learned to be comfortable in yourself in any way, have you thought about going on a TV show watched by 12 million people? Because you see, proportionally, one of them might really like you.
Thanks for that dating advice. I'll think about it.
Yeah, no worries. Otherwise, the only other dating advice I have for you is wear
Okay.
knee pads. That's quite helpful, and maybe a back brace. And yeah, if you find yourself in bed with me and you see me sort of glance off to the side, like I'm trying to figure out how comfortable the carpet's going to be, get ready. You're about to see a man pull the ejection lever.
Like in school, we learned how to do forward rolls. They become.
Yeah, yeah. Whoa!
It's like, yes, I knew that skill would come in handy one day. When I was 5 years old, I always dreamt that one day I'd be forward rolling off the bed.
That's right.
Let's
Well, I
try.
mean, I think. Oh, I mean, my God, like I couldn't do a forward roll. I mean, if you're doing missionary, the other person would die.
I'm just imagining. Then the. Yeah. I know I had to do this and like actually imagine it. Yeah, if you did if the bloke did the forward roll, yeah, literally just crush my head, I'd break my neck.
Yeah, no good.
No good, no good.
I did once. A guy thought it would be really fun if what we did was if he did a handstand, right?
Nice.
And I grabbed his ankles
Right.
and he grabbed my ankles, and then we both bent and then we rolled forward down a hill. And it was bloody amazing, except for any time I opened my eyes. Whereupon I had this combination of vertigo and dizziness and just this, like, a butt crack is not an attractive thing, right? And a hairy ass flapping, which currently has more and more grass stuck to it. It was just, it was pretty amusing.
Oh my God. So it's kind of like, it's almost like a hungry creature. Just
yeah.
So, hop, hop, hop.
Yeah, exactly. This chomping, toothless maw just coming at you out of the ground.
Just slowly, kind of like, just rhythmically eating the grass. Hop, hop. Oh my God, that is quite an image.
Yes, and if memory serves, my wife might have gone, yeah, do that. That looks fun. So
you married well. You married well.
Oh, did I ever? Yeah. Did I ever?
You married well.
Indeed.
I love that. I love that is the thing that not only changed, your career, but I think more importantly changed, you sort of the person you're with is still with you. You're married. That's really lovely that she saw you randomly, went, I'll have that one. I like that guy.
Yeah. Look, supportive partners are the shit. It's really a good thing.
I think so. I mean, like I think as well as that, like the living apart and stuff, and you're still kind of like totally cool. That doesn't work for many people as well. I think that there's this kind of idea that people have to be, well, you're together, and you have to be together.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've tried that, and we did that for a really long time. And yeah, I mean, it works. It works for a lot of people. But one thing that's interesting to me is everyone I know who's been married over 20 years, if they hear what we do, they all do this. They go, oh, so the perfect marriage.
Yeah.
And that's it, because it's two people who are secure with each other, right? But, every once in a while you're like, oh, I'm a little sick of the smell of your fart, to be honest with you. Like,
yes.
Like there are things where when you live with other people in really close confines, like some stuff just grates on you and you never get used to, and some stuff you do. And then there are just particular noises that you're just like, I don't know how it is that hits a particular frequency in my head, but I know.
I don't know. I mean, I like being alone. I'm a massive loner. I really enjoy it. I've discovered scented candles. And as I've been telling most people, I've been naming them. We'll name this one Dawn Robertson. It's a nice...
I've okay. Well, my love. Just because. Sorry. I've just. Okay. Just because I'm running out of time.
Yes.
I can do. Oh no, it's okay. I could genuinely do the worst thing if you would like to bring this to a close.
What is that?
Well, here you go. Oh Christ! I hope this works on the recording. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Hey, Claire, you're saying that you like being alone?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh. And that, everybody, was the lovely John Robertson. What an amazing podcast. That was one of my favorites. Thank you very much for listening. This has been Hot Pod Time Machine, and we will see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Hot Pod Time Machine.